Welcome to Atlantic Television Network Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to prefer solutions that will benefit humanity. On today's Society Watch, we'll be discussing numbers of issues, starting from Ogun State. Nursing student commits suicide over school's accreditation issues. From Kano State, government lifts seal on 10 warehouse for alleged hoarding. On food security, custom to distribute confiscated rice, other items. On health, FG directs medical facilities to comply with Gunshot Act. On economy, FGM to stabilize exchange rate with $10 billion infusion. These are the issues we'll be tackling today, and I have a public affairs analyst with me in the studio this afternoon. I will introduce him to you when we return from this short break. Do stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and joining me this afternoon in this conversation is a public affairs analyst, Welt Oduyemi. Good afternoon, Mr. Welt.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure.
All right, let's look at our first story for today. From Ogun State. Ajoke, a 30-level student of Harvard College of Science, Business and Management Studies, a private tertiary institution in Ogun State, reportedly committed suicide. The incident occurred after the school allegedly failed to meet the accreditation requirements of the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. The source explained for more than 4 months she has been depressed because the course she was studying was not accredited. She used to think and complain about because she claimed her parents used all the money they had to send her to school. Things now got worse because she discovered she was pregnant and she could not even have a certificate for the course she had gone for 4 years. I learned she called her mom yesterday and told her that that would be the last time to speak with her. Unfortunately, she went inside and drank it, she said. Some of the students confided in us that Ajoke had been depressed for more than 4 months because of the situation of nursing department in the school. From our findings, she has been exhibiting symptoms of depression ever since her colleagues saw the truth and left there for the Ogun State College of Nursing Science. She has been complaining about the money wasted on the school, but when she complained to the management, she was assured that the nursing department will be accredited soon within a short time. So the pregnancy triggered everything that happened, she stated. The government, in a statement by the Ministry Press Officer Goke Badamosi, said the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Kayode Oladehinde, during the enforcement, disclosed that the private institute had been offering a degree program in nursing science for approximately 6 years without accreditation from the regulatory body. He said a 300-level nursing student who was reported to me this morning by the Dean of Students Affairs to have been committed suicide. She got pregnant by her boyfriend. Her parent got to know and came last week to pick her belongings from the school. She came back to Abeokuta and thereafter decided to commit suicide. She was rushed to the Hope Hospital by boyfriend in the Adigbe area of Abeokuta, where she eventually died. Everything happened outside the college premises. However, the management of the college sympathizes with the parents and relatives of the deceased. We sincerely pray that God will give them the fortune to bear. When asked if the suicide was connected to the non-accreditation of the nursing program offered in the institution, the provost insists that the student committed suicide because of the pregnancy. It's quite unfortunate that Ajoke has to end it this way because of issues that is still yet to uncover. Because the provost of the school is saying it's because of pregnancy, and the friends of the deceased are saying that it's because the course is not being accredited. And again, if it is really true, you know how depressing it can be. You have passed through 4 years. At the end of the day, you are getting a different story altogether, and you don't have anything to show for it, because already we know that it's quite painful when you are right on a thing but you don't have any evidence to prove that indeed you are right. What do you think, is this enough for her to commit suicide, knowing that of course it's something that the school can actually fix? And again, someone equally said that this department has been there for over 6 years. So what is going on here?
Well, the event preceding decision to finally hand it off is a contributory factor to how she processed the aftermath effect. Even though the pregnancy reality also can also have an effect, but the the beginning of the whole process was hinged on the uncertainty that is associated with the exploits in that institution, because factor is that one can consider Nigeria as a factor, a system, the system that is also not dependent and trying to exonerate itself from a fault of theirs, because once upon a time, I think we had this experience about like 18 years ago during the government of President Olusegun Obasanjo retired, then where you have some of these satellite campuses where students will be promised heaven and earth, and when government now draw up a policy, I remember then some of us were affected, and they kept on assuring us that we'll be accredited, and 18 years after, those who knew what to do to be able to, quickly adjust to the reality then were able to pursue their academic pursuit elsewhere, government accredited. But those who probably couldn't, all money wasted. So for Ajoke, it's unfortunate because she was in a state of a deep blue sea, can't go back home to tell the parents that all their expenses while I stay in the school is now having a feedback that all will be wasted, and also on our own character inconsistency with what a parent will not want to hear, that you are still pursuing your academic pursuits, and pregnancy now comes up. So a whole lot of things led to that unfortunate incident. But as to that, the school is trying to exonerate itself that the unaccreditation of the department is not a ground for her to have committed suicide. It's just a corporate image branding, which of course is a poor one for the provost of the school. So it's unfortunate, but as we always say in this program, that some of these things happen so that viewers and many other persons out there contemplating on suicidal or taking a decision that could probably have, a very fatal ripple effect, is that encouraging them not to press that button of ending it all. There is always a way out, irrespective of the situation and circumstances you find yourself.
Okay, when you started talking, you said something, it is a system we found ourselves in Nigeria. Now, of course, it is, even though it is not very clear, but at least they have something to hold on to for the start. Talking about accreditation of the course in the school, and also talking about pregnancy. It means that it's a two-way thing. The pregnancy is there, and the school is partly involved in this. So do you think putting a student in this kind of line, making a student to be depressed to a point of committing suicide, do you think the school is going to somehow pay for this, or not at all?
Yes, the school will pay if the family press charges, because it's, it can be likely to be a false pretense to obtain by trick. It's tantamount to fraud. The reason why these students submitted themselves to the tutelage of the school system or the academic curriculum of the school is sure that at the end of the period promise that certificates will be issued, and that tells you as to the commitment level, particularly the financial commitment level on the part of Ajoke and her family and many other students. Then words start filtering in that from the look of things, the school may not survive the accreditation procedures that is required for institution. And from a reliable source, they have that inclination, and they know. It has happened to a neighbor of mine. 4 years. Now she's in 200 level. Good enough for the parents, they have the wherewithal. But for 4 years, she was reading law, having, this confidence that after 4 years, only for her to discover at the 4th year that the school is not accredited. So all the money is spent, and it's a private school, all the money is expended, wasted. So the point is, yes, the school has its own fault. As you were, whether to pay, yes, they can press charges. And you know, you probably want to, like the attitude of an average Nigerian, while pressing charges, they say they don't have money to apparently, you know, pursue them. But basically, such calls could, you know, be a deterrent to any institution, considering the fact that there are a whole lot like that out there, undiscovered, you know, giving false hope to students, all on because some of their colleagues or their contemporaries, their mates are already in school, some are already way gone. So in a bit that, okay, within what I have, let me also see what I can actually do. But at the end of the day, now pumping money, sometimes sell some of their properties and all that, and at the end of the day say, sorry, you know, it's one of those few things. No, you have to press charges. So
what happened to the money she has spent for over the years? At least we know we're not talking about money for handouts and all of those things, but at least there are evidence to show that indeed she actually paid school fees. So what happened? Is that no way the money can be refunded?
Like I'm saying, that if you go through the path of negotiating, the school will cook up stories. As you can see from the damage control the provost of the school was trying to put up by exonerating the school. First and foremost, that the incident happened outside the school premises or facility, and also it is not because of the imbalance of accreditation or no accreditation led to as well, that it was on grounds of pregnancy, because it is a red flag. Pregnancy as setting is a red flag. No person will want to probably condone that, and the school will probably tell you that they will you know, rusticate her. However, the point is that was the school accredited? That's the main point, and that's where, and the event has started 4 months way back, and she has been demonstrating symptoms of depression. Considering the filtering news coming in that the school may not, or a department may not, you know, pass the test as to being accredited, and therefore means that it's waste of funds. So the family or concerned persons, and I know some organizations probably can also help push up this, so that justice for Ajoke as a way in that regard can be, you know, gotten, and that will also serve as a deterrent to any other school, because I want to believe that it's not just that school. There will be other schools like that, so that they can apparently sit up, do all the requirements, not cutting corners and giving false hope, so that we can actually avoid what happens to Ajoke.
Mr. Well, this is also attached to depression. What is the best way for people to actually handle depression? Because the situation that we are right now in the country, is already depressing. So what is the best way they can handle it? I know you are not a medical doctor, but at least you can actually say something about
well, yes. First and foremost, the symptom of depression is that those who find themselves in that enclave don't talk. So that's the first symptom. They will refuse to talk. They will probably be locked up. You know, they are not predisposed to social gathering because depression thrives in alone. Even the Holy Scripture say it is not good for a man to be alone. So when you think that I can fix it, I can shoulder it, I can man it up, or someone else went through this and they came out strong, I can do it. At that point in time, because you may not be able to have the apparatus to gauge your emotions and of course the way and how you react to certain, you know, issues of life, the first point of call is to come out of your closet, talk about it, look out for someone who can, you know, who can actually be your heart. Thank God for social media. There are some persons who roll out their challenges and their whatever online on premise of anonymous. When you begin to hear anonymous, most likely, or when you start hearing some person, what if this kind of something happen? Oh, I have a friend, or I have someone. You are the one. You are the one. So the point is, you talk about it, come out of your shell. The last, because a problem shared is half solved. Because when you think that with all the uncertainties, the uncertainty that is projected before you is a function of the information that is available to you, which some of those information are distorted, they are not correct. But by the time you get second opinion, third opinion, then you begin to see a clearer perspective as to how to handle such. So the first point of call come out of it, talk about it, and then solution will come.
If you know you are depressed, don't keep your mouth closed. Say something to someone. It can go a long way. May the soul of Joke rest in peace. The next story for today. On Tuesday, the Kano State Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Commission announced the unsealing of 10 warehouses that were sealed last week for allegedly hoarding foodstuffs. Hoye Magaji, the commission's chairman, confirmed to reporters in a telephone interview that the owners of the warehouses had appeared and were instructed to open them and sell their content to the public. He said the action taken by the commission has forced the dealers to bring the commodities to market as well as reduce their prices. We visited a number of markets, including Dawamu International Grain Market, Singa Market, and Kwari Market, among others. If you go to Shuwari Market in Jigawa and Faskari and other markets in neighboring states, you will see that the prices of grain have reduced compared to before. If you recall, during the operation, the owners of such warehouses were nowhere to be found. That doors open were stocked full of commodities, including spaghetti, rice, sugar, and other food items. The owners were issued by a notice to report to commission preparatory to facing charges before the court of law of their legal activities. According to Mohui, smuggling determined legitimate threat channel pose risks to public health and deprive the government of much needed revenue. The NCS reiterated its unwavering commitment to combating smuggling activities across all entering points into the country, he said. Okay, it is a good news, Mr. Wells. It's a good news that first we have some grains in the markets that the price is actually affordable. But again, what is the need of hoarding food stuff when, I mean, we're already going through a lot. I remember in a particular state that they said no more exporting food. You can't be taking food outside country when you have not settled your home first. I know everybody is trying to take advantage of where there is, enough income. But what is the need of hoarding food when we don't even have? Why do people go ahead to do that?
There are varying factors that may necessitate such act of sabotage, economic sabotage, where people submit themselves to a system or a cartel just to profit out of situation maybe that could arise on artificial grounds. Some also could also be insecurity, and then you most likely you will see the migration of persons from troubled areas to most likely less troubled areas. Also for economic grounds, some will say, okay, if I hold on to this and I don't release it, I'm not even sure as to the way and manner as to how things are right now. If I can keep it a little further, behind before we came on here, I told you my personal experience with her. So ordinarily, persons will want to, create and make out opportunity, considering the fact that we listen to news, we see how things have been in trouble or war-torn areas. So sometimes some of these actions could be as a result of an act of sabotage, an act that is deliberately to stifling, the free flow of economic life, just to profit. During the era of high level of fuel scarcity, you will see that some filling stations or some depot owners, some operators of PMNs will just hoard it with the aim that at a later hour of the day, they will now sell at astronomical high just to, make profit out of. So the same thing can also be tailored down to the actions of warehouse owners who, remember during the NSAS, where some of these palliatives were also locked up in warehouses and people were crying and all that until people started invading the warehouses, breaking down warehouses and seeing that some of these items are there and some of them are almost getting to expiration for the perishable ones and the ones that has expiring date. The annoying part of which I call this an act of sabotage is that by the time these people tend to see that this product is getting to expiring date, they will now repackage it or rebag it and now still sell to the market. So we're good enough that Kano State government or Kaduna State government, have a system in place to checkmate this, and that should be what our government should be doing now, to ensuring that what is in place to ameliorate the suffering of Nigeria should be encouraged. And where you see or suspect persons who probably wants to make life more difficult, then the full out of the law, the full route of the law will be allowed to take his course.
Now, Mr. Wealth, of course, we know that the owners of these warehouses, perhaps they kept all of this because they want to, I mean, like you told me your experience, when it's the right time, they will bring it out and then make more money, more profits, right? But now that it has gotten to an extent where they have to force them to bring it out, don't you think it is a loss in their own aspect, looking at it someone's business? What's your take on that?
For every business operation, there is a rules of engagement, there are protocol, there are regulations surrounding it. Why hoarding where the room for scarcity is not available? You will most likely want to preserve what you have because you don't have a source of supply. Oh, yeah. But when the source of supply is constant, why are you hoarding? Are you hoarding to deliberately make some set of people or a group of persons to feel the impact of suffering? So it's just the wickedness of man to man. Otherwise, of what? Aside economic gain, why are you keeping it? The essence of you buying and storing in your warehouse is to sell and distribute. After all, this thing you bought with your money. Yes, you want to speculate so that you can actually make more money.
So now, don't you think it is again for the masses and they are the ones losing?
Like I said, as long as it's a business and government is coming in that, look, the reason why you are allowed to do this kind of operation of business was that you assured us ab initio that you have to do the following. But right now, investigation has revealed that you are far short of that, expectation, and therefore the law will have to come in. One government cannot just fold hand and see. Yeah, everybody is trying to, put hands to finding ways how to work. So getting this at this point is also one way of, finding how things work, because those items released as it were, I'm so sure as a debtor and the government will most likely want to sell or undersell those, grains and products, so that the owners will apparently learn a bigger lesson that next time when you have the opportunity to be a good citizen and not those who probably will want to subvert the effort of the government, then the law will apparently take its course.
All right, this is a good one for Kano State. If you can actually travel there to get some grains because it's a bit cheaper there as we speak now. This is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. We'll just go on a very short break. Do stay with us.
When peace the Jogu family of Umuna in Amuju in Isu, local government area of Imo State, cheerfully mourn the demise of their daughter, sister and mother, prophetess Kola Ijoma Ijogu, whose event occurred on Saturday, 5th of January 2024 at UPTH. Burial arrangement, night of tribute, Date is Thursday, the 29th of February 2024. Time is 4 p.m. and venue is Wish Complex, Wish Avenue Radio Estate, NTA Road, Ozoba, Port Harcourt. Burial service, Order of God of Abraham Ministries. Date Sunday, the 3rd of March 2024. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Venue Umuna in Izu, local government area of Imo State. Retirement follows immediately after service. She is survived by Mrs. Roslyn Obona Murder, Raphael, Richard, and Wisdom sons, Sonny Ejogu, Ugochukwu Ejogu, Chukwudi Ejogu as brothers, and Kechinere Sebastian sister. May her soul rest in peace. Sign Apostle Sonny Ejogu and Senior Leader Raphael Ukudiri Ejogu on behalf of the family. From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history,
We are one people, all of us.
leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
From the line.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and I still have with me in the house this afternoon Mr. Welto Duyemi. All right, to the rest of our stories. The Nigerian Customs Service has announced plans to distribute seized rice and other food items to address food security challenges in the country. The spokesperson of the organization, Abdullahi Nwawada, stated this in a statement in Abuja yesterday that the food items would be certified fit for consumption before being distributed to the public. A statement read in part in response to the critical challenges of food security and the soaring cost of essential food items in Nigeria. The Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeini, reaffirmed his commitment to advancing President Bola Tinubu's food security agenda. This commitment is deeply rooted in the NCS core mandate of serving the best interests of Nigerian people, thereby fostering economic stability and prosperity. In line with his vision, this service was launched a strategic anti-smuggling operation and public engagement in a commitment to prevent the unlawful exportation of vital food resources for individuals' economic gains. The urgent imperative fuel a need for proactive stance to safeguard food availability within our nation and aviation, the detrimental effect of scarcity on citizens. Furthermore, to alleviate the hardship faced by Nigerians and improve access to essential food items, the Nigerian Customs Service will facilitate the direct disposal of food items first to the federal government. These items will be certified fit for consumption by relevant agencies and made available to ordinary Nigerians nationwide through equitable distribution in our areas of operations. The modalities for the disposal will be communicated through NCS formation nationwide with a firm commitment to transparency, fairness, and public safety. It is our plea that this exercise will be managed diligently to ensure that the benefit reach those in need. The NCS remain resolved in dedication to safeguarding the nation's food security and advancing the economic well-being of all Nigerians. First of all, the customs are saying that they will deploy the best means to be able to share this without compromising. And then the second one, this is also to alleviate the hardship going on in the country right now. And again, they will also check if it is fit for consumption. All of this put in place. And then we have the palliatives that was sent during this COVID-19. Till now, we can't really pinpoint that this particular state got everything as it should be. We also have during that was during COVID-19, right? The share palliative and even this failed subsidy removal. Some states came up with some palliatives to also help to cushion the effects of this failed subsidy. And so far, nothing has actually meant we do not have a group of persons that have come out to say, yes, we got this and we are satisfied with what we have gotten. So what is the tendency that the custom will definitely deploy a better means to share this to the most wanted? And who are the most wanted? What parameter would they use in determine those who are really in need of what they want to share?
I want us to have faith with the the reality of our time. During the COVID, I am a beneficiary of some grains, as it were. In our word, my wife brought in some provisions from the local government. We had some gari, we had beans, we had rice, spaghetti. So, with regards to the news in line or on ground, it's necessary action to be taken. Now, we just talked about warehouse, those who are hoarding. And then the federal government, during the removal of subsidy, released some billion, I think 5 billion to states. And the federal warehousing across the 6 geopolitical region was given a mandate to release some grains to states, as it were. As to whether I know that Rivers State got, but the module of sharing will oftentimes be, some will probably say political lines, various words will be given and all that stuff. I think the organization I belong to, I think we receive some, although very ridiculous, but notwithstanding, we received this call. It's measures government can do, to ease off the already tense terrain. As some will tell you that the temperature, as it were, economic life is very high, and the government, through all its agencies, particularly through custom, you have them, you seize them. Rather than you doing the destruction or destroying, first they said it will be certified to ensure that it's good for human consumption, and then the channel of distribution. I think a later part of that report says that most of their regional and state command will probably be saddled with the responsibility to, you know, explore the channel. Say the module of sharing will be communicated.
So we're waiting.
So we are waiting. The point is that let all the seized and possible means of getting something to Nigeria should be unlocked and discovered. Who knows? You can't rule out well-meaning Nigerians and organizations that professes to be patriotic can also join in this drive by releasing grains. After all, we saw some of those during the COVID, where some religious organization, in the hurry of other sitting arrangement, that worshippers can come in and then pick up items. So it's about that time. Everybody just have to, you know, put effort to demonstrate patriotism at this very trying time in our national life.
All right, the next story is on health. Gun violence in Nigeria has created a grim reality where seeking medical attention for gunshot wound has become a life or death gamble for victims. Countless victims are turned away from medical facilities for lack of the police reports, leaving them to bleed to death or scramble to their injuries while waiting for clearance. The Ministry Director, Patricia Dewotishi, in a statement titled Non-Compliance of Medical Facilities on the Gunshot Act 2017, has called for immediate compliance from concerned parties. She emphasized the recent rise in lives lost due to health facilities refusing to attend to gunshot and non-chance victims who do not present police report. Gunshot victims come under medical emergencies that require urgent attention to save the life of the patient or victims. It has come to our knowledge of the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare of the slow or non-compliance by the most medical facilities, going contrary with the Gunshot Act 2017, which mandates all medical facilities to provide for compulsory treatment and care for victims of gunshot and related matters. The Act goes further to stipulate that every hospital in Nigeria, whether public or private, shall accept or receive immediate and adequate treatment with or without police clearance. According to Dewotishi, every person, including security agencies, shall render every possible assistance to anyone with gunshot wound and ensure that the person is taken to the nearest hospital for immediate treatment. In line with the mandate, the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare is concerned about the stop of gunshot incidents and the refusal of some of the health facilities to administer treatment and care for the victims or patients without a police report. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, therefore called on all medical practitioners to comply with this national law by providing prompt treatment and care for these victims to prevent death, while strategies are being put in place by the ministry to ensure compliance to the Act by Nigerian healthcare facilities. The police is also urged to comply with and enforce the provision of compulsory treatment and care for the victims of Gunshot Act 2017 with promptness, as well as reassure the health facilities that the treatment of gunshot victims is not illegal, the statement noted. Mr. Wells, as long as I can remember, this is 2017, the Act 2017, all right? But since last year, 2023, they have been emphasizing on this, but it seems there is no changes has been made so far. We still see gunshot victims complaining that, the hospitals, they will still say there is no police report as to that. They cannot render service, they cannot take them into emergency care. What do you think the federal government is not doing right? Do you think there was a negotiation at some point, okay, despite the law, that this is what they are going to do? Because, you know, when you bring these people in, whatever they're messing, the treatment they're going to give you, it has to be paid for, all right? And of course, we are supposed to save life first. When I'm talking about I'm talking about the hospital in question. So do you think there's something that the federal government is not doing that they still do not accept? Not all, but majority.
Efforts are on top gear with regards to equipping the medical practitioners, and of course hospital, whether private or government-owned hospitals, on the sensitization drive required to push this directive through. Now, as I was getting through that report, I saw a loophole that I think some of these practitioners are inching on, and that has to do with the capacity to even carry out the operation, the capacity. Because gunshot wounds are in varying degree. If it is the ones to which is causing the victim to bleed, it therefore means that that's an emergency situation. So, and if the expertise required to salvage that situation is institution or any arrangement. So for them not to be culpable, because it could be on ground that, oh, it shouldn't be at our facility. Just like the other time we were talking about the institution trying to exonerate itself by saying that all what happened outside their facility. So if the expertise required the facility or the institution to commit itself, knowing fully well that the chances of survival of the victim is not ascertained.
But they are very much aware of what you just said now, and they are still pressing that they have to abide by the law. So how do they go about this?
So the
how
point
do they achieve it?
That's where you have, if the intention to assist or to help or to respect that heart is there are referrals. There are counterpart partners to which can be brought on board. And if that intention is also, if a facility or an institution knows that there are certain degree of gunshot wound they cannot handle, so it therefore means that they will deploy, training program that will upscale the capacity and the ability of the institution or personnel or its personnel. But it's a scenario where you don't want to get involved at all. Could be premised on the fact that maybe personnel is not on ground, or require facility to see it through is also not on ground. So why start what you know is already a failure on arrival? So the excuses the institutions and organizations within this corridor probably wants to bank on, and that probably they will not own up to, is fact the funding of such a emergency operation. Who funds it? Is it going to be the victim, or is it going to be the institution? So funding is one, personnel is two, and you probably will not want to come out in the public and say all of this. So the very easy way out is that police report. If it's not available, it's not available.
All right, the Nigerian federal government's plan to raise $10 billion to enhance liquidity in the foreign exchange market. The Naira hit an all-time low of 1,850 per dollar at the parallel market on Tuesday. President Bola Tinubu, represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, revealed this at the inaugural Public Wealth Management Conference in Abuja on Tuesday. The Ministry of Finance Incorporated organized events with the theme Championing Nigerians' Economic Prosperity. In a statement on Tuesday, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Stanley Wokucha, explained that the federal government set a goal to raise at least $10 billion in order to increase foreign exchange liquidity, a key ingredient to stabilize the Naira and grow the economy. How possible is this, Mr. Wells?
I'm almost getting to the point of giving up. Sincerely speaking,
I couldn't continue. I just have to stop to ask you how possible.
It's sad. It's sad that we find ourselves at this point, considering the fact that the indices were very glaring pre-election era. That these are persons or people that it's a common, our public knowledge as to the competence capacity the office they currently occupy requires we have not seen, or we did not see that competence capacity. And then again, because the system is so structured that it is only the persons who have the wherewithal to manipulate the system and buy all the buyables that will most likely win. And that's where we find ourselves. In a insane clan, where things are working, once you are 6 months into the operation, so you can see the difference between government and outside government. Outside government, you can say, oh, well, you even hear what in the studio, what we can do. We make all manners of projections, solutions, beautiful ones, blueprints that you probably want to call it world-class blueprints. But then again, when you get to the office, then you begin to see the reality.
So, Mr. Wells,
for crying out loud, if you cannot fix the problem, honorably resign. Resign. But there again, in this part of the world, part of what we're saying, people want to man, even if it is nonsense. You want to man it, you want to show that you have the capacity to weather all storm.
So, Mr. Wells, are you saying the capacity to actually handle this issue is much on them? Are you saying the weight is much on them?
From my perspective, because I'm outside government, I'm feeling the pain. I'm feeling the pain. That's what we're seeing. People are crying around me. There are those who probably looking up to me that I cannot actually meet their need anymore. There are projects to which on our personal ground we can't even endeavor, let alone want to try such projects, because it's choking the economy. And there again, we now submit. You know, I was pondering on this before coming here, pondering on it, that do you even know the weight of the loan? Some of those loans we borrowed 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years, even in the last administration, some of those loans could be all connected to the suffering we are suffering right now. Because what's supposed to cushion the effect of what we are going through are most likely used to service some of the loans that we have collected, all in the bid of capital project this, capital project that. Some of all these things, we were told in those days that the moment we endure them, we will have El Dorado. But right now, rather than having El Dorado, we're already having hell, even though we are here on earth.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wells, for the insights.
It's a pleasure.
I am Immaculata Irikana. Thank you, our viewers, for staying patiently out there. If you miss out, you can join us on all our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube. Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net, website atlanticnetwork.tv. You can also get our app from Play Store, Atlantic Television Network, on YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Do remember, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching, and continue to stay connected on ATN socials till we come your way again. Good afternoon.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history,
We are one people, all of us.
leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.